And today's story is chapter 11. Once you retire, you are no one special. Once a person of responsibility retires, he is no longer taken notice of at his former place of work. Even around the house, he is apt to be treated with little respect, as useless as a piece of oversized trash. Once I knew a man who was the director of a government bureau. When I went to visit his house as a child, a shiny black car would glide up to the house in the morning, and off he would go in a lordly manner with a pipe between his teeth. I can remember looking on in amazement, thoroughly impressed. He never showed the slightest interest in my lectures. Shortly after he retired, however, he came to see me and said sadly, "I am no match for you now." I will never forget those words. He was now forced to bow and scrape to people who had once worked for him. The respect accorded a company president or CEO is a transitory thing. Today's topic is about people in power or high status. There are such people in our society who have higher status or who have much big wealth and considered successful people, or people who work for the government bureau and not just a low rank officer, but high ranking officers, which means very high status. People who reach that stage or level naturally have strong confidence or pride. Yeah, it's a high social status, everyone admit. And people bow down to them because of their power, and then we need to ask for some help for those people, or because so many people respect them. So even a person who used to be humble, little by little, will be filled with such high pride and confidence, and in some cases arrogance. Or of course there are some exceptions, but this is human nature. From the beginning, conceit is one of our blind passions. It's so deep rooted. Usually it's dormant. So people who don't have higher status, their conceit doesn't show so vividly externally. But once people acquire such status, this shows in their behavior, in their facial expression and their speeches. Yeah, that's how they acquire some special aura. Yeah, this is a natural reaction phenomenon, but it doesn't last very long. Maybe for 30 years, or that's the longest, I think. And then they come back to an ordinary person. And then they get surprised, and they cannot, some people cannot endure that. And then in some cases, people start seeking for spirituality, and that's very good. They realize the reality of impermanence. Of course, only status or the reputation is not something that's impermanent. Everything is impermanent. But in such cases, this is so outstanding for themselves and for people around them. And more, all the more, we come to realize that the teaching of Buddha is so true. So it's the nature and then unfortunate uncertainty of the happiness that we have. So that's why we are encouraged to seek for true happiness that Buddha taught. Okay, that's I think what we can learn from today's story.